Well, it's always great to have a visit from the folks of the Village Library, and that usually is Eileen Ordway. Great to see you.
Good to see you too,
And
Ken.
you know what? I love all the things that are happening at the library and all the different resources that people have, and see what other people are reading,
Yes.
what's popular, what's coming in, all kinds of stuff, right?
I know, it's amazing. Sometimes people will walk in for their first time. They might have lived here for years and had never set foot in the library, and they'll be like, wow, this is like a real library. And I think they think that we're just a place that, people dump their old unwanted books and, trade in and out. They don't realize that we get new things every single month, that we're right on top of what the most popular things are. And the people in the village definitely have a set of authors that are their favorites. But then there's also the book club type of books that are really popular. For example, there's one now. I've been at the library for 5.5 years. I've never seen anything like this. Where the Crawdads Sing. We got our first copy last November, and it has been on reserve. Somebody's been waiting for it ever since. So almost a year. We have.
I don't know.
I know. I had never heard of the author, never
Wow.
heard the book, but I think the book clubs have picked up on it, not just ours, but all over. At least it sounds like the county.
What's it about? Do you know?
I finally read it just 2 weeks ago. It's not usually my type of book, even though it's a murder mystery, but it's set in the 50s, the late 50s, early 60s, and it's kind of the life of this young girl in the swamps and marshes of the eastern shore of North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And it's, I mean, for me, it was an emotional roller coaster, and just what happens to her, it just is up and down, like the depths of despair and then happiness. So
it sounds like a type of book that's going to be picked up by a studio one day.
Oh, I'm sure. I'd be really surprised if it's doesn't turn into a movie. Absolutely. And so I think it's the kind of book that book clubs would like to read, because I mean, for this, it's like the persistence of life to survive is amazing.
And you put on here, even at the Orange County libraries, over 500 people are waiting.
Still waiting for it.
Wow.
Yeah, and they have over 100 copies. And
Wow,
we were
that's
lucky
amazing.
enough. We purchased 3. We've got the regular print and a large print. And then, because it was so popular, we even went out on Amazon and got a used copy. But then, just in the last 2 months, 4 other people donated their copies.
Okay.
So now we're starting to churn through the reserve list. So if you got on the list right now, you'd probably get it in the next week or so. But we have we have on our catalog a way to see popular books like this. So like this has been the most popular book.
This kind of shows what's popular.
Yes. So this has been up at the top of that list.
Yeah.
This is just for what people at our library check out. It's automatically calculated by the system what are the most popular books. So the next one, again, Michelle Obama's Becoming. Same thing, came out in November, and the reserve list for that is done. But we have 3 copies, and it's right now, all the copies are checked out. That's what that pink line means. If it's pink, it's checked out.
Okay.
If it's yellow, like Redemption down there by David Baldacci, that means it's actually sitting on the shelf now, and you can pick it up.
That's
you can come in today. Yes.
So in the next slide, it shows,
If
you're
you
kind of pointing out to
one,
what you see.
Yeah, if you select one of those lines from what's popular, it'll open up. So I selected the new Dan Silva book, The New Girl, and we actually have several copies of that one. And on the left-hand side under location, that's our call number.
Okay.
It's a code to let us know where to shelve the book. So FIC is for fiction, and so that's a regular print fiction book. And then if it's got LP in the front, it's large print fiction. If it has a number, it's a Dewey Decimal number, it's nonfiction. And if it's a DVD or a CD book, that'll be
So nonfiction still uses the
Dewey Decimal numbers, absolutely.
But fiction?
Well, fiction is 1 Dewey Decimal number, so we don't pay attention to it. I don't even know what it is.
Do libraries still use that system?
I think.
And I'm talking about Orange County libraries.
I don't think they. It's the same thing.
I don't think kids would know what that
is
nowadays.
No, I know. maybe they teach
And who is
a little
Dewey?
bit in
Nobody
school.
knows.
But,
Okay.
but yeah, so in our nonfiction section, the books are actually grouped by the subject matter,
Okay.
not by the author,
Right.
where fiction is all by author and then title.
Okay.
So it helps us know where to shelve them, but it also points people in the right direction. So we have a very extensive large print collection,
Okay.
and people who need those books, they can go right there.
So the numbers on the side, in, you have 0 in,
Yes.
assuming, you know, this is
because
what it
this
is.
is popular, and
And then-
we have 1 copy of the regular print and 2 copies of the
Okay.
large print book.
All right. So obviously,
then, yeah.
this book, somebody's on a wait list, if this is what they want.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, the next slide will
Okay,
show that.
let's look at that. Okay.
So if we pick the first one, the regular print fiction, which is across the top there, it expands to give more information about
Mm-hmm.
the book, but it also tells you that 4 people are waiting for it.
Okay.
But if you scroll down on this, the second one, the large print version, would still be there on your screen, and you can
Okay.
select that, and it goes to the next screen.
Okay, we'll go to the next slide, and this will show. Okay.
Which shows that for the, even though we have 2 copies, they're both out for the large print version, but no one's waiting. If it doesn't say how many people are waiting,
Oh,
there's no
okay.
reserve.
Okay.
So if you logged in right now, a button like where it says print record would pop up that says reserve this item, and then you would be the next person in
Okay.
line. So as soon as it comes back and gets checked
good to
in,
know.
we'll notify you that,
Okay.
that you can pick up this book.
All right.
Yes.
Very good. And now on the,
So what I want to say too,
Okay,
just
I'm
one more
sorry.
thing,
Yeah.
that those donations really helped us, our reserve list,
Right.
churn through. So if anybody, they want the book hot off the presses themselves, they don't want to wait for a reserve, and they'll buy it, but they don't want it hanging around at their house, cluttering up their
Yeah.
house. We would love to have one of these books as a donation.
you bring up a very good point when it comes to books and in general, is
Yes.
that, and when it comes to fiction and things like this, history books or whatever, is different. Once you read the book, unless you have a family member you're going to pass it on to, what happens to the book? It
Right.
gets put in a box, maybe
Right.
on your bookshelf
Right.
or whatever. That's the nature
Right.
of these. Very few times does somebody go, well, I think I'll take this out and reread it.
Right.
You know, what do you do with it?
Until you get
Yeah.
old, and then you don't remember what the
Well,
book
yeah,
was
that may
about,
be.
and then you can read them again, which is really nice.
And,
But yeah,
and
but
so
mostly
the best
yes.
thing to do
Yeah.
is to, if again you don't have
Yes.
a family member or whatever,
Right.
you donate it to
Right.
whomever. And
But
it's a
again, we
great way to
prefer
go.
popular things.
Right.
We just,
Right.
this past week, got a whole box full of scientific manuals from 1974. Yeah, no. Those we can't use. Those, nobody's going to check them
Yeah,
out. And
they're
then we have to find a
scientific
way to get
manuals.
rid of them.
They're talking about word processors back then or something.
Yeah. One had mathematical tables. Nobody's going to use
Yeah,
that.
right.
So yes, so we prefer them to be on the newer side.
Okay. And this slide here is showing, again, you've talked about this before, your partnership with the Old Pros.
Yes, our collaboration with the Old Pros this month on Wednesday, October 23rd. Oh, good.
Right,
I
yeah,
had the
I
wrong
changed
date
it.
earlier.
Yes.
Yes. This month, Shelley Rones, who's a volunteer at the library and also with the Old Pros, she's going to take a passage from Frankenstein, which is appropriate for
Yeah.
the Halloween season. And,
Very good.
And it's also the book club selection for this month. So we
Okay.
hope some people will come out and hear that at 5 o'clock at the library.
All right.
All right.
Very good. A lot of good things to go over the library. And I want to ask, somebody wants to get to the website, they want to log in, they want to get an account going, where do they go to? I know it's
Well-
sort of a complicated
Well,
link.
if they go to the Laguna Woods Village website
Okay.
and search for the library club,
Okay.
there's a link that will take them right to our catalog, and so they can do all those things I showed here. You can search without
Okay.
having an account.
And keep in mind, it's different than the Orange County
Yes,
Library.
we are
I know you
totally
use sort of the
separate.
same type of software, but it's different.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are
different
not
system.
connected to them at
Right.
all. To get an account with our library, they have to come in and we add them to our system,
Okay.
but we use everyone's Laguna Woods ID. So you don't need it's not a new library
Okay.
separate card, it's just your Laguna Woods ID. Come in, we'll add you to our system, and then you'd be able to log on to the catalog and you can do things like these searches, reserve, renew items. It's pretty powerful.
Okay, very good.
Thanks a
Always
lot,
good to
Ken.
see
Good
you.
to see
Thank
you
you
too.
very much, and we'll be right back.